I'm Thomas Ruiz, and this is Board of the Kings. So, almost every turn-based tactics game gets compared to chess at one point or another. One reviewer might say, I had to think 3 moves ahead of me, just like in chess. Or another might remark, positioning felt just as important as setting up a checkmate. So we here at Team Checkmate thought, what if we did the reverse? What if we made chess more like a tactics RPG? Board of the Kings is a turn-based tactics roguelike game where you can level up your pieces, strategize on the battlefield, and grow, adapt, and survive. And if not, if your pieces die, they die forever in the process. We're using chess as a backbone for this unique roguelike game. We're combining the roguelike systems of games like Into the Breach and Slay the Spire with the unit management potential of games like Fire Emblem and XCOM. We're trying to create a new experience for players who both like roguelikes and who like unit management games like Fire Emblem or XCOM, where you can get attached to your pieces and also feel the crushing sense of failure when they die forever. Yeah. The core gameplay of Board of the Kings revolves around training up your army. You start out with basic pieces like your pawns, rooks, queens, knights, what have you, but through repeated battles, you can level them up. And these pieces can gain new abilities or new health. Much like a regular RPG class, there are multiple ways through an individual piece can progress through their skill tree. For example, Powder Keg allows knights to place an explosive barrel that destroys anything that touches it, while Master of Puppets allows queens to take control of enemy pawns on the board. Each board presents different challenges, and battles are not limited to the standard 8x8 grid. Different board sizes, layouts, obstacles, and flexible piece placement create unique tactical challenges, ensuring no 2 matches are the same. In Board of the Kings, in the campaign, you play as Evander McGalloway, one of the 8 brothers competing for the throne of Kataris. Train your troops, forge alliances, and battle eccentric rivals in this fun roguelike adventure, with many eccentric rivals and interesting foes. One of the biggest things that sets Board of the Kings apart is its persistent and evolving armies. Unlike most traditional chess games, where each battle starts fresh, here your army carries over between matches. You're building a force over time across multiple encounters, unlocking abilities, and adapting as you go. Victories and defeats aren't just isolated events. They shape your future battles, making every decision meaningful. This creates a long-term strategic experience where planning is just as important, but planning the current battle is just as important as the fight itself. Another major pillar of Board of the Kings is its dynamic chess-like strategy. Oops, went back too far. Is its dynamic chess-like strategy. We take the foundation of chess and expand it into a flexible, evolving tactical system. New abilities offer new ways to control the board, creating unexpected gameplay scenarios and strategic choices. There are no static openings like in regular chess. With our flexible piece placement system, each battle is different. Whether you're a chess enthusiast or a strategy fan, our game offers fresh, strategic gameplay while respecting the principle of deep, turn-based combat. So, we think right now is the best time to invest in Board of the Kings. Chess has received a massive boom in popularity within the last 5 years. And roguelikes themselves have received a massive boom in popularity as well. High-performing titles like Hades, Dead Cells, Slay the Spire, and Balatro have sold millions of copies. This growth continues to maintain strong attachment rates and replay-driven retention. Board of the Kings sits at the intersection of these trends, blending chess-inspired tactical combat, roguelike progression and replayability, and RPG-style army persistence and customization. We're targeting strategy enthusiasts, roguelike lovers, chess players, and RPG players alike. At the moment, our current plan with funding is to get the game launched in early access at Q1 of 2027. Right now, we have our roguelike mode finished, or not finished. We're working on our roguelike mode. The core systems are in, and right now we're just building out the world. We're planning to spend Q3 and 4 simply on polish, while we finish up the rest of the game in Q1 and 2. Again, this is contingent on funding, however. Our team is made up of veterans above the independent game scene and AAA developers as well. We bring industry best practices as well as a creative edge and agile that lets us respond to things any issues we have very fast and efficiently. Yeah. So as for publisher requests, we're looking for help. If we were to get funding, we were looking for help with marketing, better feedback and QA support, or better networks for that. And one thing we'd love to add, which currently isn't on the plans unless we get funding, but we really do think Board of the Kings could have potential as a multiplayer game. As a multiplayer mode, we can see very easy routes to do crossovers with the different kinds of skins, or ways to encourage players to compete with each other and whatnot. But yeah, we'd also love some help with console porting and localization. That's my presentation. Thank you, Mutt. Thank you very much. This was Board of the Kings, and yeah. Okay, now is the time where the judges kind of write down their notes. If anyone has any questions, yeah, go ahead.
You know, at the end you said it was PvE and you were going to add a PvP mode. And earlier I was thinking, what is it? Is it, am I playing the PvE or PvP, or what was it? I would put that earlier in the pitch, Mason.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You mentioned launching an early access on your timeline. I'd be curious what you work on between early access and full release.
Balancing quite a bit. Chess is, well, our chart's balanced, and we do a lot of balancing and QA support, as well as making sure everything is readable as possible. Yeah. Awesome. Judges, do you have any questions and/or feedback?
Was your push for your idea for multiplayer and the skins and stuff like an idea to throw some monetization on top of it to kind of entice publishers?
Yes. Cool. Yeah. Just pass the phone for Mike.
Oh, there's over here. My one other thing, I think the presentation was really nice. Just be a little bit more off script from your slides, without like looking down at your slides and kind of reading good for like little bits from it. And just be a little bit more off script. It was pretty good.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought it was, very professional, very polished and stuff like that. I kind of agree in the fact that you put so much into there, which is great because it really does cover a lot. Maybe, trying to take a little bit just so that the timing is better, so you get through in more of a natural flow. But I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. I think, you covered a lot, and I think you covered it well and in a short amount of time.
Thank you very much.
I think my biggest question is around the narrative element. I know you kind of like passed through that as almost like a script slide. Is it something you guys want to actually focus on in your game, or is it like kind of a small little mini feature after you guys?
We're kind of basing the narrative elements of our game. If you've ever played it, it's FGL Faster Than Light. So it's a roguelike. So a run has an overarching story, but there's lots of little mini episodes you can experience in each run. So there's multiple different, in our game, there's multiple different worlds you can go through, like a level basically, and each level will have a boss, which is one of your siblings. And within each world, there'll be like little mini episodes that may or may not you can pass through or whatnot. So narrative, like as a strong story, I wouldn't say narrative is our focus, but we do want to have fun characters and fun experiences for players to have in the game. We're kind of going through an irreverent Monty Python-ish tale. So now.
Okay, cool. I think my other thing was with the multiplayer, I would personally hold that out of the pitch just because it sounds like you guys already have a lot to do and then you're adding up one other thing. I would maybe even save it as like a skip slide in case someone asks about it. But say that honestly, it'd be its own pitch as soon as you launch and you see traction. That'd be a great publisher pitch. It's, oh, wait, we're live. We have a lot of players and now we just want to get to more people and potentially a
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
And for me, I think that for the presentation is that I want to see more consistent graphics. I didn't really get a sense of what the game looks like.
Okay.
There's a few examples with like old school style graphics, and then there was a little bit of like new on top of it, and I didn't really get a sense of cohesion and consistency across the deck.
Okay.
And I would like really simpler slides. There's a lot of words.
Okay.
A lot of reading and a lot of very complex strategies. Like that one slide that said, here's our plan of how we're going to make this over the next couple of years with our current trajectory of the working on weekends as family people. I don't think EA, if you went and talked to a publisher there and you're like, that's great. Assume you're getting $1 million or hey, ready, go.
Okay.
Like don't worry about the funding. I put that I made a new tab in the sheet for general notes.
Okay.
Talking about how you're going to fund the game and what your current plans are and what you think you need. You don't know what you need. No one knows what they need. I've been on many games where they're like blown the budget out of the water or completely like went millions and millions under. Okay. And for the other thoughts, I said more art and examples of gameplay. Your explanation to Jess just now was more informative of what I learned from the slides. Okay. You spent a lot of time talking about making the game and not enough time about how fun the game is to play, what you can do, what it looks like, and the core loop.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. Awesome.